Alright, so hello guys and welcome back to another of our course about the complete introduction to the Deep Web. So in today's class we are going to talk about TOR security and how to use TOR safely. So let's start. So what is TOR? TOR stands for the Onion Router. It comes, well, this is a web browser as we talked about it in our last class, and it gives the possibility to people who use it to stay anonymous online and to get access to the deep web. But is it safe to use? Well, yes, normally it's safe to use, but you have to take some safety measures. Once again, TOR is not something that will prevent you from getting viruses or malwares or whatever. When I'm talking about safe, I'm talking from anonymity point of view. So if you want to be anonymous, or if you want to be, let's say, under low when you're going on internet, yes, it does a pretty much good job. It's not a 100% because no web browser can guarantee a 100% anonymity. But once again, it does a pretty good job. So for data encryption part, so how TOR protects your anonymity, as we mentioned in last class, well, it uses an onion. The way it works like an onion. So it will start at your starting point, and let's say, for example, want to go to Google. Well, it's gonna pass through the different, let's say, computers. It's like an onion. When you take off layers from an onion, there is a lot of layers, and it's very hard to get the first, let's say, layer or first user who, for example, wanted to get access to Google, which in this case is you, because you are connected to TOR and you want access to a certain website. So let's see it this way. So for the data encryption part, well, it's very, let's say it's very good. It's pretty much good, and yeah, so it works pretty well. But once again, TOR doesn't prevent everything from end to end. So, well, from one part to the other, let's say from your side to the website you want to connect to, and you will have to be careful, because once again, there are people who are able to track you if you do some bad things on the deep web. So how to stay safe? Second thing, I mean, you have to be careful with some plugins. So when you're connected to the TOR browser, you don't want to download a lot of plugins that you can find on internet or on YouTube videos. Why? Because TOR is already completed. So when you download the program, it's already completed. And if you download plugins, well, it can interfere with the job that is already done by the browser. The browser itself works pretty well, so you don't have to add a lot of plugins to it to make it work better. It has more chances to put you at risk than to help you with anything, because none of those plugins is guaranteed to be secure. That's the thing with all the plugins that you download to TOR. Next thing is when you're navigating on the deep web and you want to be 100% sure that you're anonymous, I personally suggest you to close all the apps that are connected to internet on your computer. So that's my suggestion. I personally do it. Why? It's because, well, people say that there are ways that people can track you if you leave those apps open. So it's just a tip that I personally use. I don't leave apps open on my computer when I'm navigating on let's say the deep web, or when I'm connecting to the TOR browser. So that's another safety tip that I can give you if you ever navigate on the TOR browser. Next thing, when you will be connected to the TOR browser, the TOR window it's gonna be a certain size. So don't maximize the size of this window. Why? Because by maximizing the size of your window, you putting yourself at risk that you can get tracked, or your anonymity, well, it decreases. When you will, where we will be at the course where we gonna download TOR, you will see this warning when the TOR browser will be downloaded. You will see the warning that you are not secure when your window is maximized to the max. So this is why that's another safety tip that I can give you. Don't maximize your Tor browser window. Leave it as it is. You will see the size of it is not that small, so you'll be able to navigate comfortably from your computer on your Tor browser without having to maximize it. Next thing, never ever ever download documents on the deep web or slash dark web. Why? You don't know what's in the documents. You don't know how much viruses you can download, especially for example you go on a streaming website and you want to download movies on the dark web. Well, it's a very bad idea to download movies there, because there is more chances that you download some virus or some malware that will connect to your computer and steal all your data that you download a movie, because all those websites in the surface web are filled with ads and with viruses. So in the deep web it's even worse. You have even more chances to get a virus to your computer. So never download no data. Never if you receive an email on your deep web message service, do not, well, you can open it, but if you receive for example attachments that ask you to download something, well, don't download it. On the surface web, when you receive an email of something, is someone who you don't know asking you to download something, well, the best thing to do is not downloading it. Well, it's the same thing on the deep web. Well, don't do it, because you'll see you're gonna get yourself in a lot of trouble, especially if you don't have an antivirus, or if you're not using a virtual machine. And in this course, we are not talking about connecting your Tor to a virtual machine. We're gonna talk about Tails, but it's a bit different. But yeah, let me just give you a quick virtual machine. If you connect your Tor to a virtual machine, it's a bit different, because you will be able to, if you catch viruses, the viruses will only affect the virtual machine. It will not affect your computer. Once again, in this course, we are only talking about getting connected to the deep web, not using a lot of stuff to be like 100% anonymous. Beside of that, don't play around on the darknet. When you are on the darknet, you need what I suggest you personally is you will need to have a list of websites you want to visit. Let's say for example you want to visit this website or this website. You know where you're going, you know exactly what exactly you want to visit. And if you need to make some researches, well, make them on the ClearNet or the surface web, or you can go on certain forums that can help you with this. But don't start looking around and clicking on all links that you can find on the deep web, because there is more chances that you go on an unwanted website than anything else. So once again, be very very safe on this part. So you will need to have a clear website where you want to go. If not, well, make your researches on the surface web for the links, and then only after that you try those links on the deep web. So let me summarize. So once again, data encryption for the safety, it's pretty much good. So it works the right way. So be very careful with the plugins that you can download for the Tor browser. Download nothing from when you're visiting the deep web. Nothing, never. Close all apps when you're using Tor. So don't forget about this. All app closed, only the Tor window open. Don't maximize your Tor window, because you can be tracked if it's maximized. Don't open downloaded documents, or don't download no document. Don't start downloading stuff, because it can be viruses, malwares, or any kind of stuff. You're not on the surface web, you're on the dark web, so you have to be very careful. And don't start to play around once again, because you can get on websites that you don't want to get into. So that's it for this course, guys, and see you all in our next class, where we are gonna talk about the concept of anonymity.